I've almost beat it.
It's my Ron Swanson.
Oh, yeah, that's what you need to be for Halloween. It's hard to do, though.
Ron Swanson?
Yeah.
It's easy to do.
Well, that's one. You just wear clothes.
Yeah. I would just have a coffee mug.
Or you could do his after-sex outfit, the red polo.
Yeah. I mean, there's a plethora of things, because it's also like, it'd be like, like a tweed jacket with like the collar slacks, or just like the red collar polo with just khakis.
Carry on a landmine.
Carry on a landmine.
Did you have anything to...
No, not really. I'm just me just staring at the camera like Ron Swanson was kind of a funny beginning at first for me, and you were doing Spider-Man.
I've almost beat it.
That doesn't surprise me.
They're not very long.
There's a bunch of memes about like how like waited so long, spent this amount of money, finished it in 2 days.
Well, but even the other one wasn't that long. And Miles Morales wasn't very long.
Miles Morales is really short. I know. I haven't played that one, but the first one, it was more of like the bonus content in the first one. Like it's all of the side mission stuff that makes the game longer. Like unlocking all of the
costumes. And
backpacks, blah 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 blah. The ponchos.
Yeah, the ponchos.
Yeah,
like that's really true actually, because even then it's like I realized there's a shit ton side stuff that I haven't done. But I even remember in the first one I would look up how to get the suits I wanted. Yeah, because I was like, I'm not gonna use. Like, I have a problem with those games and like being Spider-Man 2099 because it's not Miguel, it's Peter. Yeah. So I find it weird to look like these, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why, but I'm like, well, that's not Miguel, that's Peter. Why would he look like Miguel? And it's also not 2099. That doesn't make any sense.
You're saying that it's 2099.
2099. What would I say?
2099.
2099. 2023. What are you talking about?
Or 2023. You're saying it weird.
You're saying it weird.
Stop being weird.
You stop being weird.
Let's do this.
This is Tommy.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
That's just my comeback. You're just jealous because I have reflexes like a cat. Tina, come eat your dinner.
I was going to say, are you quoting Napoleon Dynamite right now?
Tina, come eat your dinner, you fat lard.
God damn it. You know what's... Okay, that's a movie I've never actually watched, but
You've never watched Napoleon Dynamite?
Never actually watched Napoleon Dynamite, but
You're the weirdest hipster ever.
But I've seen so many clips and so many people have quoted that movie that I can recognize it. But okay, so that movie came out while I was in high school, and I was interested in seeing it, but then like it got like all of the popular kids got so obsessed with it that I was like over it already. I was like, I don't even fucking care. Like they ruined it for me pretty much with me not even seeing it.
I quietly hate that movie.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I really don't like it. It's very quotable.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's something about it. I find it.
I bet you're gonna throw this football over that mountain.
I just find it really depressing. I don't know why.
I mean, I can see that.
Yeah. Is that not weird?
No, because it's yeah.
I find it really depressing. I find it to be a huge bummer. It's an energy vampire of a movie for me. You know what I mean? It just sucks everything out of me. I'm like, I'm just take a nap after watching. We're not talking about Napoleon Dynamite today.
We're not doing Napoleon Dynamite. We are doing an indie movie, though. Hey.
What are we doing today, Jacob?
We are watching, or we're not watching. We have watched. We are reviewing Robot and Frank.
Robot and Frank. Mm-hmm. Released at Sundance initially January 20th, and then August 24th, 2012.
Yeah, it's kind of like that was like a limited worldwide, or kind of release. Why don't you give people the synopsis of what Robot and Frank is about?
An elderly man is gifted a robot assistant that reinvigorates his memory and his love for stealing.
Does it really reinvigorate his memory?
I think that part of his mind.
I see what you mean.
It gets the gears turning,
Well, but the movie begins with him breaking into his own house.
Yeah.
And him, yeah. So it's like that cat burglar part of him is in existence constantly.
This is actually a very interesting movie. I really liked it.
It was surprisingly sad.
Holy, are you talking about that scene?
This is the Notebook for dudes, man.
I was bawling. I was like, what just happened?
This is the Notebook for guys.
It's so sad.
I was just like, what the fuck?
But it's so sweet too.
Yeah.
This is a very, very interesting watch. And it's funny because I had seen it, but when it came out, so
2012.
2012. So
a decade ago.
I didn't really remember, I didn't remember that scene at all. Just I had a couple glasses of red wine. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm like, what?
Why?
What? No. Oh my God.
But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's start off with our director.
Well, really quick, 2012, how many movies?
So I counted 40 this time, and last time I counted 43.
I forgot to look to see what I meant to. I had counted 29 on this one. But yeah, it was also right before we were we're getting ready to record, I was pointing out there's a lot of this is in an era of a lot of interesting independent movies coming out. Kind of like this one. There's also Safety Not Guaranteed, Bernie.
That's a weird one.
I don't think it's the same year, but it's a friend who followed a friend
for the end of the world,
seeking a friend for the end of the world or whatever.
Be Kind, Rewind.
Be Kind, Rewind is early 2000s.
I thought it was 2008.
Mid 2000s, sure. Yeah.
I'm just thinking of this era,
I mean, cool. If you're going back into mid 2000s, there's Squid and the Whale, Smart People,
Smart People,
Dennis Quaid, and
yeah. Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because that's an indie drama, but that also got a lot of Hollywood popularity.
Well, I mean, because look who's in it.
Robert De Niro, Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah. That's a pretty good cast just with those three
God,
alone.
that's a great fucking movie. I know that movie, it's a trigger for you.
I can't watch that one. That one makes me sad. I dropped my pen.
Do you need the pen? I like to have it. Cool. But yeah, so it's just I was happy to find it, that I stumbled across this movie for us to watch and kind of do something a little more indie as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's get into writer and director and all that stuff.
Your meat and potatoes. Canned cream corn. I'm not going to try and say his last name. What?
I was just waiting to see how long you were going to go on that trail of whatever was going on in your mind.
That's Jim Carrey. Canned cream corn on his 960. Wait, turn.
I really need to drive this train today, don't I? Okay.
Choo-choo.
Okay, so this was directed by Jake Schreier.
This was his big debut, right?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, because before this, he had done a handful of like TV and like a bunch of music videos. He still like kind of did all like TV music videos. In between, but like I think his big hit was Beef.
Yeah, he directed 6 episodes of Beef.
I mean, that was only 6 episodes, wasn't it? Or no, it was like 8 or 9,
something like that. I don't remember. Yeah.
So he directed the majority of Beef, which Ali Wong and Steven Yeun.
That was a weird one.
And great fucking show. Loved that goddamn show. But also, he's going to be directing upcoming Marvel Thunderbolts.
Who are the Thunderbolts again? Is that what's his name? The Crimson and whatever the fuck his name. What is the Hammer and the Sickle or shite? What is his name?
Colonel Thunder.
Thunder Thighs.
Thundercats. Oh, fuck a Red Hulk, pretty much. It's now Harrison Ford is playing him.
I didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah, Harrison Ford is because since he passed away. Yeah, now Harrison Ford's the recast.
That's great.
And it's going to be the dark Captain America. Like they've been piecing it together throughout the series.
Yeah.
There, but yeah,
I didn't know about the Harrison Ford thing. That's cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
This was also Jake Schreier, and then written by Christopher Ford, who also he wrote the screenplay for Spider-Man: Homecoming, has worked a lot with John Watts, who's the director of that. But this was based on a script that Christopher Ford was writing. So Jake Schreier and Christopher Ford went to Tisch, New York film school together.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So this was kind of like them like coming out of college together, like debut type thing.
I will just give you a heads up that when I did my notes, it was at a coffee shop with really shoddy Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So like I didn't like read like Wikipedia.
That's fine.
I could barely get the bare stuff down. So yes, inform me.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it was like based off of a script that Christopher Ford had wrote like earlier on in like his college career, and they built upon it. And the whole idea was they wanted to write something that was science fiction-y and set in the future, but they didn't want to focus on like the sad dystopic idea of what a future could be, but more just like have it be like what life could be in the future. Like it is also a near future.
Yeah. Like this is a nice episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah. Or a sad episode of Black Mirror.
You're not like gouging out your own eyeball at the end of it.
And like the idea of the robots being helpers is, I mean, we're on the path of this right now because Japan has a bunch, like this is based off of of robots that Japan has created for like being like helping around the house.
This has been a thing since I was a kid. I've been working on this.
Yeah.
Astro or whatever his name was.
Yeah. Actually,
he came to our school.
Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah. We had like a...
the Honda Asimo, an example of Japanese robotics technology that inspired the human-like design of the robot in the film. If you want to look that up, that's Honda, Asimo, Honda Asimo.
Yeah, those are real early ones.
Yeah, he looks exactly like what robot in this is. Yeah.
Do you remember? I used to send them to you. There was those testing videos of them like working with the robots and like knocking them over.
Oh yeah,
Like what is that called? Can't remember.
Like they're like balance.
They're balance
calibration,
calibration or whatever.
Yeah.
But like it would be a voiceover of the robot like talking back.
Oh yeah.
Come on, Steve, knock it off.
Just send it stand here.
Very South Park kind of voice, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, Jesus, Steve, like picking up the box and they knock it out of his hand. What the fuck, Steve?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Apparently, I don't know how true this was, but apparently there was they got a robot to be working like on an assembly line in like some like Amazon type thing, and within 2 hours of working, it just gave up and just shut down.
Humans are a resilient species.
Just like what is my purpose?
Nothing.
You serve butter. Oh my god.
I don't like this Skynet bullshit.
So, yeah, I mean, Christopher Ford also, like I said, he wrote for Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming. He wrote this really interesting movie called Clown that's also written by directed by John Watts.
Have you ever watched it?
I think I started it, and
I think you'd like it. It's cool.
Yeah, no, I was watching the trailer for it, and I was like, I feel like I have watched this. I've definitely seen it around.
It's cool, yeah.
But John Watts and Christopher Ford are working on a Star Wars series together as well. It's going to be in the Mandalorian universe.
Ooh.
Cool. Fuck me, right?
Well, I was also going to ask you about Chaos Walking, the other Tom Holland movie that he wrote.
Oh, that's the one with Daisy Ridley?
Yeah. Is it? Yeah. And it's like everyone has like a hive mind.
She's the only female.
But like all the men can like hear each other's thoughts.
Yeah, and he's trying not...
Did you ever end up watching that? I remember
No.
you telling me about it, being like, that sounds horrifying.
I think it was actually... No, it was my old friend Chris talking about it.
Oh, okay.
And explaining it.
Yeah. I was like, I really want to watch that. It doesn't have a great rating, but it's a weird concept.
Well, I mean, it went into like post-production hell.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like the studios were like trying to force a bunch of weird shit into it.
One of those Miramax kind of bullshit.
Harvey Weinstein. What did they call him? Harvey
Scissorhands.
Yeah, Harvey Scissorhands. That was the Del Toro, right? They called him that?
Oh, yeah. He's like, I'll never work with that fucking man ever again.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to because he's in jail.
He can't. But it's just like, it's like, that still makes me laugh because he's such a prominent director. Like, he is like, you want him on your shit.
Yeah, right.
And for a director to be like, fuck you. never again.
Well, I mean, Del Toro was not really anybody in the mid '90s when that was happening.
Well, but like now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like hindsight's 2020. Like, oh, he's a huge name now.
Let's not worry about Harvey Dickface.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into starring.
It's not Harvey Scissorhands anymore. It's Harvey Dickface. Okay, yeah, starring. Okay.
Let's start with Frank Langella,
who plays Frank.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of amusing. It was like, if you can't remember your name, Frank,
you don't
remember Frank.
I didn't realize that he's Skeletor in Masters of the Universe.
Yes!
I've never seen that.
He's also the voice of Archer in Small Soldiers.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh, damn.
That was awesome.
It's really interesting is that I was expecting for his age, he would have a lot more acting credits for film. He has 102 acting credits. But I think he's probably also just very theater based as well. I know that for sure.
Well, and even looking at his list, it's not to say like he's picking because
Well, I mean, he was Dracula in 1977.
I think he's picky.
Yeah.
I think he like reads it and he's like, because he was even Cutthroat Island, which destroyed her career for a minute there.
I don't know what that movie.
It's the pirate movie I keep wanting to get us to watch with. Oh. What's her name from Beetlejuice? The wife.
Oh, Gina Davis?
Yeah, Gina Davis. And Jim Carrey 2.0 in Liar Liar. Princess Bride. What's his name?
Oh,
Carl Yules?
Carrie.
Carrie, yeah.
Carrie Ellis.
But yeah, it's this weird pirate movie, and he was in it. But I was just thinking, like, because what?
He's a pirate in Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah, he is. He's Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah. Sorry. Anywho, Frank Langella.
Yeah, like he was in Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp, which is like a really.
I don't remember that movie.
It's a really weird. Occult.
Yeah.
Finding the Devil's Bible thing.
Yeah. This is also Frank Langella. Amazing performance in this movie.
He's a great actor.
Oh yeah, but just when you could see his dementia kicking in, just the
confusion.
Yeah, where am I? Just it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Frank, I think we should leave. Frank, we need to leave now.
Do you want to do Robot?
Just really. It's Peter Sarsgaard,
who we
talked about last week, because this is the movie that was influenced.
Yes. He was in Salt and Sea.
Last week.
He is the robot in this.
He is the voice of the robot.
The voice of the robot.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
The robot is bodied by an actress named Rachel Ma.
That was my next question. I was like, was it actually a robot?
No.
That would have been cool.
No, actually, there was problems with the suit and how hot it was. Mm-hmm. And she actually they had to bring in a stand-in for her for a couple of days because she couldn't handle it. Mm. She was supposed to also kind of deliver the lines for Frank as well, but it was just so hot and so uncomfortable and so horrible for her that they had to actually have a script supervisor offset, which actually happened to be, I think it was Frank Langella's a niece or something. Mm-hmm. Read the robot's lines off script or for him to bounce off of. And it was and also the design, it was designed by Tony Gardner, who is the guy for Alterian Incorporated. They did all the special effects for Zombieland.
I was like, that name sounds really familiar.
Yeah, and we talked about it before. But yeah, Zombieland, 127 Hours, Smoking Aces, Hairspray, Seed of Chucky, Addams Family. Oh, the Addams Family is probably why we talked about it.
Probably. God, what a fun job. Stressful, but fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a really fun job.
And they also designed the helmets for Daft Punk.
Yep. Okay, there we go. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that key detail.
Yeah.
And then our son of Frank, played by James Marsden, who is named Hunter. I don't know. X-Men.
He's Cyclops in the original X-Men live action. He's in the Sonic movies.
I was thinking about Cyclops specifically.
He's Alan Tudyk's character in Death at a Funeral.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking about him specifically as Cyclops for the X-Men franchise.
He was a good casting.
Well, but I was just thinking about as that franchise went on, he's such a face for that franchise because he is Cyclops, but he becomes such a quiet character.
Well, they kill him in the third one.
Well, yeah, but okay. It's like the first one he has scenes, second one kind of sort of, and then the third one he has a big scene where he dies.
Yeah, because everyone got all fucking hard for Wolverine. It's Hugh Jackman.
James Marsden. Hugh Jackman. James Marsden.
I mean, it was very clear that they wanted to make that series like Wolverine is more of your lead character.
Yeah, well, I do like
story-wise.
Well, even in the first one, he like, what do you want with me? And Magneto goes, why do you always think it has to be about you? And then the franchise just goes that direction.
And the prophecy.
The prodigal son has returned.
Yeah. James Marsden. And then we got Susan Sarandon.
I love.
She is so
I love her.
Wonderful.
She's so pretty.
I just want to stare into her eyes.
She's so pretty.
She's got such a pretty eyes.
Thelma and Louise.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Bad Mom's Christmas. She's really funny in that.
Yeah. She's
in a lot of Rick and Morty.
Yeah, she's that Rick's therapist.
Really?
Yeah, she's
I didn't know
Dr.
that.
Susan Wong.
I didn't.
Or not Susan. Yeah, no, but Wong, yes. I don't know.
It's Rick and Morty.
They talk about it in there. They have a commentary about it.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, huh.
She was actually like...
It's Rick and Morty, though.
She's in the most recent episode, actually.
Oh,
like,
really?
she's a recurring character.
Huh. I can't wait to watch that.
She also like actually how she got into it was like she didn't know what Rick and Morty was. She did it, I think, because of like a niece or nephew. It was
Tommy
like,
Lee Jones's Two-Face kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like sure I'll do a voice for this thing, and then actually just really she's like, this is really funny. And she's done voices on like Robot Chicken.
I saw that.
Yeah, like she has like a good like sense of humor, like funny bone. She's He's My Boy, the Adam Sandler movie where
That's My Boy.
That's My Boy, yeah, with Adam Sandler, Andy Samberg. She plays the grown up version of the teacher that slept with Adam Sandler's character when he was 12 years old. Yeah.
A lot of wrong comments talking about Susan Sarandon. I'm really looking forward to the Wong thing and seeing my expression when I want to watch that back.
I mean, to kind of get the idea, you'd have to watch the first episode with Dr. Wong in it.
Okay. All right, moving on. Fun. Oh, and apparently she's going to be in Blue Beetle.
She's in Blue Beetle.
Yeah. You know what I fucking meant. And then I guess last would be Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
Who plays Madison, the daughter, Lord of the Rings.
Arwen.
Saruman.
The Strangers.
Incredible. That's a great movie. Who's the guy? Oh, it's what's his name? Who's the husband in Strangers?
Scott Speedman.
Yeah. That's
from Underworld.
Yeah.
I do really quick shout out for Jeremy Strong, who plays the rich guy.
I didn't recognize him.
He looked familiar. I didn't actually look up his thing. I was just doing a quick shout out for him. But who did look very familiar to me was the cop
From Clueless.
Yeah.
Elton.
Yeah. Elton, yeah.
Elton,
It was Elton, yeah.
Yeah.
I was sitting there, I'm like, why does that face look like an older version of something I should know?
Well, I was like so confused too. She was like, "Oh, that's Elton," and I was like, "No, that's Paul Rudd that plays it." And she's like, "No, dipshit, that's Elton. That's like the popular guy." I was like, "You're so right," and I'm an asshole.
Yeah, you are. Damn.
Like totally bitter. It's like, oh wow, sorry.
Like, you don't fucking know movies, bitch.
Whoa, I did not say that. Did not. I just got an attitude, an undeserved attitude about it.
That's what the undertone
There was no name calling involved.
When she tells the story, that's how it's said.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Well, let's get into reviews, and so we can get into talking about this movie. I feel like we've been everywhere other than this movie at this moment.
Let's
Are we avoiding crying? Is that why?
Give us our scores.
So IMDb, it's got a 7.0. Tomato meter, it's got an 86%. Tomato meter and a 75 audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. So pretty well critically received. I think audience is probably just kind of like, I mean, it's still very well received, but
It's just a quiet movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So 67 on Metascore, which is generally favorable.
Is it 67?
67, yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's weirdly lower than everything that I just said.
Well, because then so it has 24 positive, 8 mixed, and 1 negative.
Mm-hmm.
So who did we pick? Andrew. Andrew O'Hear at Saloon gave it an 80 out of 100. Robot and Frank is such a sly, dry, modest-seeming picture, part science fiction, part social satire, part geriatric comedy, that you don't realize how well it works until it's over.
Yeah. It's God.
It really I liked that one because it really is the ending. Really, just so much happens in that last half an hour that really just brings it all together.
Yeah,
in a really like powerful way.
And especially like it reveals really kind of like how kind of shitty of a human Frank can be.
He's kind of a huge dick.
He's a con man, fucking
through and through. Yeah,
and then the heartbreak still at the end when he's in the home. But then the cognitiveness that's still there. Today, Junior.
And then for our mixed 60 out of 100 by Mike Scott at New Orleans Times. Picayune? Picayune?
I can't see it.
Picayune is a place, I guess.
A place? I don't know.
Picayune. It's literally Pica, Y-U-N-E.
Yeah.
Picayune. I don't know what that is. Anyways, an enjoyable diversion, a lightweight bit of philosophizing that blends humor with the bittersweet. It won't likely stick in your memory for far too terribly long.
I don't know about, I think this movie's, and I watch a lot of movies.
Well, I think that also, because even watching it, I kind of agreed with that. Because I watched this once when it came out, really, really enjoyed it. All I could tell you, it's about an old guy and his robot. I kind of forgot about everything else that was happening.
Interesting. Yeah, because I really, really enjoyed this movie. I think this movie's going to it's going to stay with me for a while.
I don't think I got it at first.
That's, fair.
You know what I mean? And it was also 10 years ago, so.
Yeah.
How old am I? Just 21.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that kind of over my head a little bit, maybe.
21, 22.
Yeah. And then the one negative, 25 out of 100, no name at Slant Magazine. Christopher D. Ford's film is nothing more than a Lifetime movie dolled up in cheap Philip K. Dick drag.
Okay.
Philip K. Dick, Blade Runner. Do robots dream?
Robots dream of electric sheep?
Yeah.
Or do androids dream of electric sheep?
Yeah, the author. It's just if people don't remember that name.
Interesting. Yeah.
Nothing more than a Lifetime movie dolled up in cheap Philip K. Dick drag. I was like,
that's mean.
Right? I was like, damn. That's like, But yeah. Those were them.
That's interesting. I think a big thing for me that kind of stuck out was, obviously there is this parallel and metaphor of memory in the movie, and how the robot asking Frank to, reformat his memory, is, Frank is refusing this because he's finding if he erases the robot's memory, what is that that? So what, his memory can just be erased? There's this connection, this parallel of dementia with this robot, and it's which is interesting. And then the whole them stealing Don Quixote, I thought was kind of a little on the nose, but I was okay, well, of course, this man who's having his own adventure of crazy dementia or whatever, they're gonna have him steal Don Quixote,
I actually didn't even put that together.
Yeah.
That didn't stand out to me.
Really?
Yeah.
There's just there's a lot of the little clever things in the script.
Well, even with the whole,
it's like I said, I feel like this is the Notebook for dudes, because
such a weird way of putting it.
Well, because the whole you go through this entire story of him that he's is struggling with dementia and whatnot.
Oh, real quick before you continue, if you have not seen this, stop listening now, because the moment that we talked about is I just described it to my partner and she started bawling. She
didn't watch it with you?
No, she wasn't really like, she was kind of like about it. And then I was like, that's fine. Like this might, but I was just sitting there and that moment was happening. And I was like, oh my God, no. Oh my God, no. And I paused it and she's like, what's going on? I went up and I explained and she started just bawling. I'm not even watching it. It's making me cry. I was like, I know.
Yeah, no, when you see him look.
So stop listening if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Continue.
When you see him walk up to the wall, like, and it's also like how, like, just like, you're not allowed back here. Like how. I felt like it came from below. This concrete below us. That was weird.
Yeah. Knock back.
Don't knock back.
Well, you're about to say though about that. I think I'm gonna go sometime this week and rewatch it for the Tyler Durden thing, to watch them interact and see if there's subtle little conversations that you now will pick up on.
I kind of like, just in reflection, there's already a lot that I can just point out right now in remembrance of like their like stuff. So like when he first walks up and sees her, you know, and then he's like coyly asks for her number, and you can see her just like pleasant like smile, just like, oh, he's like still cares for me type thing. He still he still like wants me. And then it cuts to them in the going up and down, and she's like, well, let's see if we can find a book that you haven't read like 300 you haven't read like 3 times. Like, she knows him.
Yeah, but that's the thing, the writing in it is so beautiful and she's like so clever.
Yeah.
That it's just like, oh, they're just really good friends. This is his librarian friend that he's been coming to for years. So they just know each other. Unbeknownst to you at the audience that no, they're a couple. He just doesn't remember them being a couple.
Yeah, which is fucking heartbreaking.
But even the shot too, like how they lead up to that when he's looking and he's just looking at the photo of her family, and it's all young pictures of Liv and then you start going, wait, what?
Yeah, no, you're like, no, I had to pause. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the I was like, what?
And it was the way they shot it was just amazing, because it's like you could miss it at first. In all honesty, if you're not really paying attention and you're not paying attention to the faces of the photos, you might not even notice that that's Liv Tyler and
James Marsden
young,
and then you see young Susan Sarandon with young Frankie Langella, and you're just like, no, especially because like as soon as he walks in, she's like, Hunter called me saying that you were and
you're like, why did Hunter? And he's like, why did Hunter call you?
Yeah,
which is like, why did you call the librarian?
Yeah, exactly.
About this,
and it's like, how does Hunter know that there's this weird relationship? And then as it's and then the recognition of her when he finally recognizes her, and the light little kiss, and then it's gone. And then
he like storms out.
Yeah, because he can't handle it. He can't process it.
Yeah,
and it just oh my God. Yep, it's so sad. Yeah,
but it's also like, so yeah, it's just like we were saying earlier too. So Hunter brings Dad this robot assistant.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, we're focusing very much on this specific moment, but it's the journey that gets us there.
Yeah,
of the movie.
And then Frank basically realizes that he can use this little guy as like his cat burgling protege and train it to.
In a weird way, he kind of projects like what he wanted to teach Hunter, what he wanted Hunter to be.
Yeah, it becomes like this weird surrogate son kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also a partner in crime, an accomplice, you know. And when does he realize that there's a moment that he realizes that the robot doesn't, when the robot steals the little, like thing from the store.
Oh yeah. He doesn't understand the concept of like stealing right and wrong, that kind of thing. He
saw that it was in Frank's hand and
possession, so it's his.
Yeah,
not realizing that Frank had stolen it.
It's also, that's really funny. God damn it, old man! Stop coming here stealing my shit.
Just goes around stealing. So, and he puts it in his like wall safe. Yeah, it's also interesting too about with these kind of like diseases, these memory diseases and stuff, what sticks around.
Yeah.
Because it's like the thieving thing is obviously still a very prominent. Mm-hmm. And it's not like it's more important, because that's not really how that works, what it attacks. But it's also like seeing Hunter's like frustration with everything, like still asking him about Princeton and this and that and this and that, you know.
The end scene, sorry.
This is like watching my grandfather kind of go through a similar kind of thing. This is like my biggest fear on the face of the planet.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like this is I don't
to deal with it with a parent
or be the one,
to be the one. Yeah.
Well, because it's like I don't mind getting older. Like that shit hurts now. Like, you know what I mean? Like whatever. I got a bad knee. I can't sit certain ways anymore. Okay, that's fine. It's more that is not what I want to go anywhere.
Well, and that's also, I made a note of that, is that there's an interesting thing, and it made me reflect upon it in this movie, is your memories are what really makes us people, makes us human, you know? And so, like, when you see, especially at the end, how, like, Frank is kind of forgetting Hunter's face. You know, like, at the very end, he, you know, gives Liv Tyler, what's the daughter's name? Madison a kiss. The mother, Susan Sarandon, gives her a hug and a kiss. Like, he's recognizing them a little bit more. But then Hunter goes in for a hug, and he just gives him a handshake. Although it's kind of, you know, planted for, like, the note and whatnot. But there's also, you could just see this, like, Hunter is losing a piece of himself because his father isn't recognizing him.
Yeah, and it even seems like from dialogue and everything, they already, even when this wasn't, the memory was an issue, they already had like an estranged relationship with the prison and him going to jail and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, not only did you not really have a great relationship with him when he was fine, now he's sick and forgetting you. So Hunter's in a weird position in this.
And then it kind of made me also kind of go into this thought of like, the memory of someone, an individual, and like will only live as long as there is someone that can remember them. I forget where this was brought up. This is in a movie.
Okay, Achilles.
Achilles?
That's his whole fucking thing.
Achilles?
Yeah, for Troy. Brad Pitt.
Really? Does he talk about that in this?
Oh, that's his whole fucking thing. Like his mom.
This is probably where I'm getting it from.
His mom is like, you know, because she's in touch with the gods. That's why he's a superhuman, basically.
Yeah. Well, she dipped him in.
Yeah, but the heel just held the baby like that. Anyways, exactly, but she goes in because, you know, she's like a seer and everything. She goes up to him and explains that if you stay here with me on the island, you will find a loving wife and your children will have children, and so on and so forth. But by the time of your great-great-grandchildren, your name will be forgotten. But you will live a long and happy life with your family. If you go to Troy, you will die, but you will be remembered forever.
And he
wants to be remembered forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think about that. It's like you and me, like the people that we know, like we're only going to exist as long as there's a memory of us, someone to remember us.
Not anymore. The internet knows forever.
Yeah. I mean, in a weird way, yeah.
The internet doesn't forget.
What if the internet just one day just imploded?
What would happen to society?
Oh, dude, the economy would just break.
The internet just stopped working.
Yeah. You could think about that.
Well, like, you know, like there's
banks have all of our info, like our currency, everything.
Well, like I was thinking, because you know how sometimes in like planes and helicopters and stuff, gravity just stops working and they're not really sure why.
Yeah.
There's these weird cases where just a plane will just drop out of the sky because some pocket of something happened. What if that was like the internet? Just one day the internet just stopped working and they had no idea why. They cut the big cables in the ocean.
It's kind of the end of Her.
Oh, the Phoenix thing?
Joaquin Phoenix, yeah.
I've never seen that one.
That's a good science fiction. Kind of like
who's Her?
Scarlett Johansson. Yeah. They originally had another actress do it, and I can't remember who it was.
It's kind of insane to me just how this you know, 7 degrees of separation. It's now just about superhero movies. That's all I ever think of now. It's like, oh, Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow and the Joker.
Oh, yeah. I was like, who the fuck's walking? Oh, yeah.
This movie here, Liv Tyler and the Hulk. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah. And also we got Thunderbolts coming out.
Yeah.
With Christopher Ford.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, this movie is very... Sorry, that was a weird tangent.
Yeah, we went down a rabbit hole there. Memories all alone in the moonlight. Cats.
That's the only part you know.
I forget the rest of the lyrics.
That's fine. It's cats. It's terrible.
It's horrible.
The new one's scary looking. We're going back down the rabbit hole.
Buttholes. Did they? Oh no, they edited those out, didn't they?
I think they ended up doing that. I think I refuse to watch it.
Okay, so Robot and Frank.
But yeah, it is this interesting dialogue about memory, both in the sense of organic and created.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, it's interesting because
that made sense.
You really follow it through like the lens of Frank, you know, and the robot, and it's like just very straightforward, in like non-moral, no moral. It's literally it's programmed to just look out for the well-being and best interest of Frank's health.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing. It is a very limited artificial intelligence in the sense that it's not organically going to start creating new pathways. You have to kind of tell it what to do because it has a base programming. It doesn't have the programming to organically change its behavior based on. It's very much a robot.
Yeah.
With a program. It's not really an artificial intelligence. Really.
Yeah. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's not a learning AI.
It's a very basic AI.
Yeah.
Very basic. And it's more of like Frank's kind of sounding board. Mm-hmm. And it is also interesting to see the change in relationship because he does become kind of attached to it. And the robot keeps having to remind Frank that he is not a living thing.
And he's like, can you just stop saying that?
I'm an appliance. He's like, I'm a dishwasher.
Yeah.
I'm a washing machine, basically. That can talk.
I am your refrigerator. Please do not have sex with me.
Is that something? Or okay. That's you. Jacob trademark. God
damn, the refrigerator's so hot. Just want to
rub
my face
moving on. Isn't that like a thing? I think that is a thing.
What?
People want to have sex with like their appliances and stuff.
There's people that want to have sex with houses.
There's that one person on that one podcast that wants to have sex with planes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird, just weird people. Anywho.
She bathes with their little models. Puts them in places.
Whoa! I was thinking it. I wasn't going to say it. Okay.
Ooh.
We're kind of missing, like, there's also the whole, like, Jeremy Strong's character, Jake. The art dealer. Oh, no. Not the art dealer. He's renovating the library.
Make it more modern.
There's also like the whole thing in this movie also that's like an under like theme of reservation. You know?
Preservation?
Preservation, thank you.
Okay, I was
preservation.
Like,
yeah.
Preservation, yeah.
Because like the whole thing is that all media, all books are now just available on the internet, you know. Mm-hmm. So there is really and we're dealing with this right now. There's like almost like no reason for a library to exist anymore other than it being like a community center.
Yeah.
And so what they want to do is like they're trying to preserve the library as a community center, but make it also still kind of like the experience of a library, but like have everything. It's more about like going to the library as an experience as opposed to going to the library to get a book.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just an interesting conversation about preservation in general because you have it with books, you have it with pretty much any media. Mm-hmm. Like even in the video game world, people will pay a good money to have the physical cartridge of something in case what we just talked about, the source material gets corrupted. You know what I mean? And it's like the same thing. It's like I went and bought Monty Python and the Holy Grail because you, at least in this country...
Yeah,
you couldn't find it anywhere to watch.
It's so hard to stream almost anything that is like London based. Like we want to do Rock and Rolla.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that we aren't able to stream that in our region because it's it's fucking English.
Yeah, so it's like certain things I totally get, having your own physical copy that is protected, that you just can keep your eye on, basically, But yeah, no, it's like, so basically Jake becomes our like yuppie villain because
he's very aware, like he knows that Frank has a history of stealing stuff, so when things kind of end up disappearing,
it's like
I wonder who it was.
The known cat burglar in the neighborhood.
Yeah, my neighbor. Literally his neighbor. What?
No, not Taylor. This sounds like it's buzzing.
Oh.
For a new one.
It might just be a connection.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, no, it's like his neighbor as well. Like
yeah.
Like it's kind of funny. He's like he's stealing everything just around in this neighborhood. It's like, gee, I wonder who's doing it.
I thought a weird shot too is there's a scene where he's like staking out their house, and Jake is like playing some kind of VR drum thing.
Yeah.
But then when his wife comes down, he like throws it off, like ashamed.
Yeah.
That did you? What, like he wants to be? He's too cool to do that. Is that what I didn't get that. I just was wondering if you had a theory.
His wife doesn't want him to play video games, and he was doing that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just thought it was kind of funny. Like, it was almost like he was like about to get caught masturbating.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I just thought the drum thing was weird. Like if it was just him with a VR thing on, they threw it off. You could infer, he's looking at something he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But,
but he's doing something he's not supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. We get it. We got it. Good.
Well, even it's funny too. Like I really, really appreciated the Liv Tyler whole kind of not arc, but her whole deal of like anti-robot slaves and X, Y, and Z.
No, we can take care of ourselves. I'll take care of you, Dad. She can't take care of Dad.
And then he
kind of purposefully makes it more difficult.
Oh my God, I love it. He pretends to have like an episode to like prove his point, and he's just going around the house destroying, just opening cabinets and throwing chips and like just having this manic episode just to prove a point. Then comes back downstairs in the morning, and the house is spotless.
And he's like, "Oh,
to use the robot."
And I love how he stares at her like,
like. But then that's
in the back of his mind. He's like,
this hypocritical bitch. But then but that's even a good like writing wise about how he's getting attached.
Yeah,
because he's like, you don't turn him on and off. Like,
yeah, and then he actually says it and admits it. Like he's like, he's my friend.
Yeah, so it's like he's creating this, and that's what's interesting because it goes into the AI thing. It is this one-sided thing because the robot is programmed to be this companion. Mm-hmm. Frank didn't want the companion, but being a human, he created.
But also, as human, we want companionship.
Yeah,
and it is just kind of nice, to have something, talk to. And just,
especially older. You're putzing around your house, not doing, like something to, it's the same. It's like a dog.
Yeah. I was just about to say it's a pet.
It's a pet. Like when I'm home alone, I talk to my dog. Yeah, and he responds. Yeah, not actually, my head. Like,
I mean, he does it with like his like, huh?
Yeah, like. It really is like he becomes like this soundboard for him, which then in a strange way, but it's like it then becomes clear that there is a problem of him still wanting to like be a cat, like still steal stuff, because now he has an accomplice. He has someone to help him, as opposed to, because the opening scene is him, like I said, breaking into like his own like den pretty much. Yeah, so like it's still like he's like sleep stealing type thing. Well, I think it's also a youth thing. It reminds him, because he always talks about the wild, colorful life that he had when he was younger, So I think the stealing is just like a remembrance of that time. And well, it's also kind of just like a sense, like going into dementia, you start to relive or relive things that you like that you went through. Yeah, in your mind, you're almost teleported back. Yeah, so like to certain moments. He's not in his mind. He's not in his house. He's in that second floor of this hotel, picking the lock to get to the safe. And then when he sees the picture of himself and his kids, wait, where the fuck am I? How? What? Oh, and the confusion of like, I'm okay, and then we're just gonna go back to bed, I guess. Okay. What a terrifying thing for a kid too.
Like just as like
being the child of someone in this, situation, especially with them being alone and everything. But it's like it's not like just he's gonna wander out into the garden. It's like no, he's a cat burglar. He's gonna climb the second story window, pick the lock. He's 84. Like God damn it, Dad.
It's also just like, and then Susan Sarandon's character who's like there to like.
I love her. I always forget how much I love her until I watch her in something, and I'm like, God, I really, really, really enjoy you.
Don't you just love? It's just like if she was just like look and smile at you, you're just like, oh,
hi, lady.
Can I have a hug?
Yeah, like she's like the ultimate mom.
I feel like we're just kind of spiraling at this moment.
Well, what are we at?
50.
No, all right. But yeah, so it's just a really, really sweet, bittersweet. Actually, is the best way to put
bittersweet is really good. Surprisingly sad, like I said.
It comes.
And I keep saying Notebook for dudes, pretty much, because it's a science fiction idea, cat burglar, whatever. Mm-hmm. But there's that exact moment, like in the Notebook, that
I get it now. Sorry,
Notebook.
Yeah, I was like, what? It didn't really get what you were saying, but I forgot about the whole.
You forgot about the whole dementia thing, the entire idea of the Notebook.
I hate the Notebook.
I don't like it either.
I hate it.
But that's like the entire thing is...
I don't, but I always forget about that.
Him reading the story to her.
No. All I ever think about with the fucking Notebook is their toxic-ass relationship where they're constantly fighting and fucking. That's all I ever think about. I forget about the sweet reading the book part. I just think about them constantly fighting and fucking. Okay?
What do you want? What do you want?
I hate that movie.
What do you want?
Okay, but yes, I get it. I get what you're saying now.
Yeah, because
I thought it was just this weird dude thing that you were saying.
No.
Notebook for dudes.
No, it's like because of the whole memory, the dementia, when like as he remembers her and whatnot, it's like, oh my God, like they have that moment again together, and just kind of like, in the Notebook, they have that moment. But then she immediately is like, who are you? Oh my God. And you're just like, no, it was there. There was happiness. Ah!
What it is like super, it's again, the bittersweet thing. It is so really like absolutely adorable that he's still pursuing her.
Yeah.
And how, from her perspective, how wonderfully sad that would be. Like, oh, no, even after all these years, he still, even though he doesn't recognize me, he still loves me and he still wants to be around me, but he doesn't know who I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. He doesn't know that I birthed 2 of his children.
It's heartbreakingly sweet.
Yes.
Because and that's what I was saying is like when he walks up and he's like, "Oh, can I get a girl's number?" and just that.
It's like and that's why when I'm rewatching with that information.
Well, then it's even like what's even great is like I was remembering like when Hunter is trying to convince him to have the robot, and he's like, "Mom got a robot and she loves it, Mr. Darcy."
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's
gonna be you're gonna rewatch it. There's gonna be a lot of
Tyler Durden shit, where you're like, oh,
Memento, like
oh,
that's why that's written on him.
Yeah. Interesting. Again, I really want to rewatch it. It's not a very long movie.
No, it's only like an hour 30. Oh yeah. Well, I rented it on Amazon.
I bought it on Amazon. Yeah.
I think you can watch it free on like Fubo or something. Fubo, Freevee, something.
Or
one
Tubi.
Of those.
One of those.
One of those like ads with ads.
Yeah.
Things.
I definitely say check it out. I think this movie is really sweet.
It is. And Frank Langella's performance is great. Peter Sarsgaard, just as a voice of the robot, is the way that he just with very little emotion, but still.
He also has he's always had a great voice.
Yeah.
He's always had a really nice, like, soothing, like even as Will too.
Mm-hmm.
Like that moment when Val Kilmer's explaining everything to him, and just that like kind of beguiled heartbreak of like his best friend has been lying to him.
Yeah, but he's still like, but you're still my friend, right?
Yeah, he has a very soft,
such a great fucking character in that movie.
All right, we're getting a rating.
I give this like a 4, 3.54.
I would go 4. I can't think. It's like. Yeah, solid 4.
Yeah, I don't know why I would want to give it anything. I mean, it's definitely not a 5. It's not like it wasn't like religious experience.
Yeah, no. Like I would say definitely a solid 4.
Yeah.
All right, we're putting in the books. 4 out of 5 carrots. This is a very neat, tighty burrito.
It's a burrito that I want to have again, for sure. I'll come back for this burrito. Many times.
All right. So 4 out of 5 carrots. So that wraps up Robot and Frank. We both highly recommend you watch it. Be prepared. It is sad. I really hope that you...
No, I mean, we already told you all the sad points, so...
I was going to say, I really hope that you have watched it and then are listening to this. Not listening to this and then watch it.
Boy, I'm cut. There we go. So yeah, make sure to follow...
Well, what are we doing next week?
Oh, we're doing Con Air.
Woo!
I'll talk about it more next week, but just want to say this. I feel like Die Hard walked so this could run. Ridiculous over-the-top action movies.
From the 90s.
Well, yeah.
Well, Con Air, Face Off.
Mm-hmm. Nicolas Cage.
Good old Nick Cage.
Okay.
It's like people that love him really fucking love him.
Yeah, dude, because he's amazing.
And the people that like me are kind of like, yeah, it's Nick Cage. Like,
it's fucking Nicolas Cage, man.
I'm a vampire.
A, B, C. Sorry. All right. Make sure to, if you're on YouTube, subscribe, follow, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts,
look at our
radio,
posts.
Spreaker.
Our link tree's on there.
Yep.
Please rate so it helps us get out there a little bit more. If you enjoy us, if you have any concerns, comments, or suggestions, please put them in the box.
You can follow us on Instagram to get to
see our promos, the promos I make,
what we're doing for
see
the
what's
future.
coming up.
Yeah. All right, guys.
I'm the man behind the curtain.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Literally.
Okay.
Ignore Tommy.
Ignore. I like it. I gotta go. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob. This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Later, guys.